championship as well.
I think just like Bale, we could talk about the new stadium deal, and we probably need to set aside some time for a future show to do that.
Yeah,
but
we should probably do it with Kat too. We should probably
I would like to do it with her because there's so much speculation out there. If Linden ever gets an NFL team, the talk is that the pitches will be slidable and removable under the infrastructure of the new stadium, to where they can slide out in NFL fields, so they're not playing on the actual same ground. These things will be heated, drained. I mean, it'll be, excuse the pun, but pitch perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
And when you see the Emirates, and you see Chelsea this week, some of these bigger stadiums, because they don't have, I guess, sun obstruction, I think that has a lot to do with how this is being designed. You look at White Hart Lane now, they laid a brand new pitch, grass, everything at the beginning of the season. The corners are already dead because they never hit sun. And that has a lot to do with how the thing is engineered.
Well, hang on. If you've been to the lane on non-match days, they do have the grass-growing lights. But again, you still need natural sunlight to get into those corners. And our pitch is still holding up a lot better. There was one pitch last week. I think it was Anfield. What a joke!
Oh, it was terrible.
When we played him, it was a terrible pitch.
Yeah.
But what to digress a little bit, what I hope is that once you get a 60,000 seat stadium ish, and you have all these fans that, especially if you get an NFL team that ends up in London and plays at that stadium, you're inevitably going to get people who don't now support the EPL that are going to go, oh, well, that's the same stadium as this, and it's the same colors. Maybe that NFL team switches to like a navy blue and white type of scheme, and they inevitably become Spurs fans. Maybe and possibly, and you look, you want to fill the stadium. I hope it's not with Japanese tourists and people who have no idea what the hell they're looking at or watching. I don't know if we should have T-shirts made up that says "I was there when we were shit," before before this thing gets bit, kind of Chelsea-esque or Arsenal-esque or however you want to look at it. That's my worry, and it's been everybody's worry that we want to win the league and we want to win cups and we want to do it in our 36,000 seat stadium to show that we can beat the big boys. In a few years, we're going to be one of them. From a stadium standpoint, possibly from I don't know about a net spend standpoint. We'll have to kind of see what happens with this whole ENIC thing. Lewis is not getting any younger, now well into his 70s now, correct?
Yep.
The Qatari group that owns PSG, it's been rumored, they might
not
be
buying Spurs. Not buying Spurs.
Okay.
Not
so,
buying
but
never
there could be somebody out there.
No, there's
Maybe
not
Mark
a way in the
Cuban
world
will
that
step
ENIC
up,
will
I'd love to have Mark
Qatari.
Cuban buy Spurs. Can you imagine how intense that would be?
And I had conversation, talking with Daniel Wynn about Cuban, and I waxed poetically about Cuban. I'm like, he's the perfect owner. I was shocked. He didn't know who he was. So I don't think he's quite the sensation overseas.
No.
And I've tweeted Cuban ad nauseum, buy the club. Have you ever thought about buying a Premier League club? And Cuban's Jewish as well.
And he thought about buying FC Dallas at one point, so he does have that interest, I think.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, so I told Daniel, I said he's the perfect owner, and he's proven that. I mean, he's taken a relatively small market club, here, and look what he's done with a minimal equity investment, generally speaking. It's worth $1 billion now. They bought it for $200 million, $250.
Next week, podcast. The man who wrote that article, The Premier Experience, and we'll keep touting it all week long. Jim Capel, he will be on the show. Or no, he'll be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2
Brad
weeks.
Friedel next week.
Ooh.
Who? Brad
It's really
Friedel.
next week?
Next week.
Oh my god.
Saturday. That's going to be a Saturday recording. I have not gotten a solid time. I have been DMing back and forth with him. He's checking.
He's going to do it on match day?
No, Sunday. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. No. That's right. He did tell me this morning. I got my days mixed up. Sunday. So we will do the recording Sunday. I'm waiting to get a time from him. He said because I asked him, are you flying out for international break? Are you doing anything over here in the States or whatever? And he's looking at his schedule. So I hate to say it, we're going to have to be pretty flexible with him, but he is going to be an epic guest.
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
And what I'm going to do is, and you guys can help me out with this too, not only AO Dallas and AO Fort Worth, but all of the American Outlaw chapters. I want to try to get them involved. Maybe get with their headquarters people and see if they can help get this out. Once we get it done and dusted, because I want to include a lot of USMNT stuff along with Spurs.
Yeah.
And so I want to give them some solid interest, and reason to want to listen to this podcast that we're going to do with Brad Friedel. I'm very excited. I know you two are just over the moon about this too. Jim will be on the week after that. We've also got confirmations with Samantha Ram. Some of you guys have her followed on Twitter at Sam Ram. Big Spurs supporter, soapy actress, right? And she does her first, I think, major, well, you would call it major, but a feature film that's coming out. I don't know if she's plays a zombie or something like that. I haven't really looked into the movie. I gotta check it out.
What's your show? The EastEnders, right? Was she on Sherman?
Yeah, EastEnders.
Yeah,
okay, she was on EastEnders. So
she's very popular among Spurs fans. So.
Yeah, no, and she's really cool too. I was DMing with her the other day, and
and she had to suffer some abuse this week, which was bang out of order.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, once again, I'm getting drug into these things because I see it happening, and I can't bite my tongue. And
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Richard Cracknell, Crackers, God bless him. He's also trying to play police chief with some of these younger kids. I just think they can get away with just treating people like absolute garbage.
Which I dropped a lot of those guys. It's hard to tell, who's who when they follow you on Twitter, and I just unfollowed and had those guys off my feed. That's ridiculous.
It's bullying. It was
a bunch of it was bullying, and it was a bunch of younger fans. No offense, Nikhil, but it was younger supporters.
Yeah, it was.
Because they wanted to banter her off. It was just disgusting. Yeah. It was really bad.
Shout outs this week. You guys got anything?
Well, we need to say thanks to Matt Downey.
Yes.
We did miss him off last week because we couldn't find his Twitter handle. And
how do you think that guy feels? He sends us like a crate of beer, and we forget his name. We're terrible.
I know. And
God, he's such a nice
we
guy,
will get the beer next week because the event was held at Drew Mayer's house.
Yeah.
And some of us couldn't make it down to Trinity. We're going to get that next week.
But we're going to do something nice for you.
Leicester, we're all looking forward to the Leicester game. We haven't been at Trinity for a few weeks now, and it's time to get back to our spiritual home.
To be drinking that beer while we're interviewing.
And for our members who are listening, we'll have our new Dallas Spurs scarves that get delivered this week from Leeds, Wyoming.
That was so good.
Should I explain to
you better, because now everybody's going like, what the hell is he talking about?
So the purveyor of our fine scarves sent me a note saying that they were on their way and they've shipped, and sent me the tracking, so I followed it via FedEx, and I'm looking at this at Leeds, WY. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that there was a Leeds in Wyoming. And I'm like, why is it going to take 6 days to get to Texas? It's only a few states away. Then I followed the tracking a bit further, went Leeds GB, and went, oh, West Yorkshire. We wouldn't do that in the UK. We would not use a 2-initial abbreviation for a county. You know that, Sam.
Yeah.
It would be just Yorkshire or Yorks.
Yeah.
So you can understand my pathetic confusion. Confused I was, but had to share.
I had to bust your balls
you
a bit
did.
too all
Upper
week.
Kentucky.
Upper Kentucky for UK. Yeah. What else? Oh, real quick too on Matt Downey's the beer thing. That's the Stone Brewery. So if you guys are in and around, especially the San Diego area, Southern California, pick up that local brew pub, local pub brew that these guys are brewing up.
It's good. They sell a lot of it down here. It's really good.
So if you guys see the Stone Brewery logo on the cans, go ahead and give it a shot, man.
And follow him.
He had a few other beers from the area, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. And you know what? It's worth
maybe
shouting.
Ballast Point and Green. Is it West Coast Green Flash IPA? Something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think he actually delivers beer, and it's worth. He's part of the San Diego Spurs group, which I think is at SD Spurs. Yep. And go follow them. They've got a video out. It's really great. They've got an Irish pub that caters to them on match day. They have a really good crowd. It's good supporter group.
And in fact, they just did tweet. So I banter back and forth with San Diego Spurs, good bunch, and he tweeted about 6 minutes ago, commuting sucks, make your Monday morning just a little better with that Hotspur America. And I think one of the lads, Ben Foreman.
Yeah, he's their chairman, I believe.
Yeah, so I think he does most of their tweets, and he is a good lad, for sure.
Awesome.
I have one very quick shout out, which is our friend James Weaver. I was going to shout him out last week, but just decided to wait for this week. He's great, really, really nice guy, and he's really big, and he makes me feel really safe. when there's antagonistic fans in a bar. So you're a great guy, terrific Spurs supporter, great energy, and we really appreciate you. Other than that, God, we got some really cool guests going May 15th, 16th that weekend. Hull is shaping up nicely. An epic event in the makings. I don't really have anything else. Gentlemen? Anything? Good. Chairman?
I think, we were starting off the show down in the dumps, and at the end we're kind of happy, and it certainly went a lot longer than thought we'd just do the 60 minutes. We can't do 60 minutes, can we?
No, what do we do today?
Sorry, listeners. It's been 90.
We are who we are, and, I'm ready to kind of see the conclusion of the season and look back on our body of work and be prepared for next year. I'm genuinely excited and hopefully better things to come. So with that, I will conclude, gentlemen, by saying adieu to you, Chairman, and to Kenny. Get in there, son!
And for the rest of you guys, be kind to one another. Unless the other guy's wearing red.
Wankers.